What's going on, everybody? This is Chris Carter with Crypto Secret X, and today I want to bring you an important video where we talk about the Bitcoin ETF, and I want to let you know that they have already been approved. I know they said that the Bitcoin ETFs haven't been approved, or it might be some FUD, not haven't been approved, but there's a possibility that they wouldn't be approved. Total FUD. I'm gonna get into it real quick here, and I got a lot of information that I want to bring to you today, and I want you to know that number one, this information that I'm providing for you is not saying I'm a financial advisor. I'm just sharing with you basic moves that I'm doing, and also information that I find, and when I find it, I want to share it with my community. So let's begin to talk about it. When we get into the Bitcoin ETF, which we're upon that approval date, which is coming very soon. And the reason I said in the thumbnail that Bitcoin ETFs, it's already been approved. I want to show you something here. Let me get right here, and why I rate it like this. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and let me get this camera adjusted right. Hold on just 1 minute. Boom. There we go. Okay, now what I want to show you is what's going on with the Bitcoin ETFs. Okay. We got this article, well, in so many words, it came out a few days ago. They were talking about the Bitcoin ETF and a possibility of it not being approved. So in this article, it stated right at the beginning that SEC will reject all Bitcoin spot ETFs in January, says Matrix Port analyst. That was one of the articles that came out, and then YouTube went crazy with it's a possibility it won't be approved. Matrix analyst Marquis, I can't pronounce the last name, Theron, excuse me if I mess it up, said the Securities Exchange Commission will likely reject all Bitcoin and spot ETFs proposal this month. Theron argued that the application still falls short of critical requirement that must be met before the SEC can approve them. Now, then I saw another article that came out a little earlier that talked about Cathie Wood's and Grayscale Bitcoin ETFs, and she made a move, and I'm when I pointed it out to you, it's going to all click. But I want you to look at this one move that they talk about, and here is the video. Here, let's listen to this video first. Make the sound
worldwide. All right, let's take a look at the chart of the day. Cathie Wood's ARK Invest sold nearly $13 million worth of Grayscale Bitcoin Trust shares from its next generation internet ETF on Monday, its biggest sale in more than a year. The offload of GBTC shares leaves the fund with about $113 million worth of GBTC, a weighting of 6.95%. ARK aims for no individual holding in its ETFs to exceed a 10% weighting of the fund's total market value. This comes as Grayscale wants to convert its Bitcoin Trust into a spot Bitcoin ETF in January. The SEC is set to decide on its application along with those of 13 other firms early in the new year. ARK Invest has also sold Coinbase stock for a third straight day as the shares held steady within 5% of the year's high. That's it for today's chart of the day. I'm Jen Sanasi. We'll see you next time to unpack more of the data behind top news stories.
There's an elephant in the room here. I think.
All right. So
we were really
that was one of the articles right there. You saw where Cathie Wood's sold her Grayscale Bitcoin ETF. Then the Grayscale CEO resigns. But then I saw another article here that Kathy Woods, and this is another one video I want you to look at. And this one right here, that was a little earlier in December. Now, December 28th, you see where it says Kathy Wood, ARK Invest in ProShares Bitcoin ETF after exiting GBTC, CNBC Crypto World. So I want you to listen to basically what this video was all about here, and then I'll definitely get into the rest of it. Here we go.
Kathy Wood's ARK invests in a Bitcoin futures ETF after dumping Grayscale holdings. And we speak with legal experts about what region is winning the race when it comes to crypto regulation. Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Tanea McKeel. Bitcoin is in the red this morning. As of noon Eastern, the cryptocurrency fell 1.5%, trading around $42,500, according to Coinmetrics. Ether traded flat after jumping 6% yesterday as investors moved into the cryptocurrency ahead of key catalysts expected next month. Those include Ethereum's next big tech upgrade and a potential decision on the applications for spot Bitcoin ETFs in the US. Meanwhile, we're also watching Binance's BNB token coming back to life after struggling along these last few months. Today, climbing more than 7% as of noon Eastern and hitting its highest level since April. It's unclear exactly what's driving the action, but DApp Radar shows a 12% surge in decentralized app volume on the Binance Smart Chain. Okay, let's talk about the top stories. Kathy Wood's ARK Invest bought more than 4 million shares of ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF, known by its ticker BITO, which tracks the price of futures tied to Bitcoin. That's according to a trading note late yesterday, which also showed that ARK sold shares of Coinbase worth more than $27 million based on the crypto company's last closing price. Coinbase shares have rallied more than 400% so far this year. ARK also dumped the remainder of its Grayscale Bitcoin Trust holdings. Sources close to the matter told us that the decision to exit GBTC was driven by a combination of regulatory and tax uncertainties and the availability of other products which would maintain the investment management firm's exposure to Bitcoin at a lower cost without the risks GBTC presents. Speaking with Bloomberg this morning, Woods said that BITO is already approved and there's no regulatory uncertainty tied to it, so ARK decided to maintain its exposure through the ETF for the time being. She also pointed to the tax and regulatory uncertainties. On Tuesday, I spoke with Kathy Wood and asked her what was behind the recent moves to offload millions of dollars worth
This is
of
interesting. I want
GBTC
you to
and
listen to
Coinbase
this.
shares.
When you see
Here's what she had to
what I
say.
got on
This
the bottom
is
there.
portfolio management, essentially. So we've had both appreciate quite dramatically this year. This has been the best performing asset by far this year.
October
And we
21st.
always do take profits.
October
It's just simple
2020.
portfolio management. On top of the actual price appreciation of Bitcoin, we've had the discount closing relative to NAV for GBTC. So that's been, a double impact in terms of appreciation. So it's just traditional portfolio management.
The change in holdings comes ahead of next month's expected decision by the SEC on spot Bitcoin ETFs. Both Grayscale and ARK21 shares have applications filed with the agency. The first deadline to approach is that of ARK21 shares. The SEC must approve or reject that application by January 10th. Wood told Bloomberg today that ARK believes the probability of an approval has gone up because the SEC has been, quote, highly engaged compared to what was happening before. All right, turning to crypto regulation for our main story. This year, there have been some remarkable advancements for crypto regulation around the world.
Let's get into it.
In fact, in April, lawmakers in the European Union approved the world's first comprehensive framework for digital asset regulation. It uses markets in crypto assets.
All right. Now, so when I heard that, then I saw this particular, I was actually Googling the information to let you know that ProShares in 2021, October of 2021, had already had a Bitcoin ETF approved. And while I was Googling it, I found this document right here on the SEC United States Securities and Exchange Commission, which is a Form NA1 registration statement under the Securities Act of 1933. Basically, it was actually Pro Shares Trust, exact name, registration, and it talked about the ETF and the approval and permitted by regulators. Adopted Securities Exchange Commission page covers funds of annual, semi-annual shareholders report, table, summary, investment objectives, the Bitcoin strategy and ETF. And when I clicked on the Bitcoin ETF, it basically stated that, and let me go here. I'm going to read the objective. ProShares Bitcoin ETF, the fund seeks capital appreciation. There can be no assurance that the fund will achieve its investment objective. Fees and expenses to the fund. The table below describes the fees and expenses that you may pay if you buy, hold, or sell shares of the fund. You may pay other fees such as brokerage commission and other fees, financial and intermediary fees, which are not reflected in the tables. An example: the annual fund operations, the total annual fund operating expenses, the Bitcoin futures contract. And when I go down to the Bitcoin's future contract, that basically stated that the standard cash settlement Bitcoin funds contracts traded on commodity exchanges registered with the commodity futures, such as contracts traded on subject rules of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange CME. The value of Bitcoin futures are determined by the reference to the CME CF Bitcoin reference rate, BBR, which provides an indication of the price of Bitcoin across certain cash Bitcoin exchanges. The fund seeks to invest in cash settle front month Bitcoin futures. Front month Bitcoin futures contracts are those contracts which the shortest time to maturity. The fund expects to gain exposure by investing a portion of its assets in the wholly owned subsidiary of the fund organized under the laws of the Cayman Island and advised pro fund advisors. The fund generally expects to invest approximately 25% of its total assets in the subsidiary. The fund may, however, exceed this amount from the time to time. Advisors believe that doing so is the best investment of this fund. So they've already approved the Bitcoin ETF. Now, look at this right here. This is what really got it when I show you this. On the page, I present to you the one, the only, Mr. Gary Gensler. That's right, Mr. Gary Gensler, and smiling ever so brightly. What is it? SEC approves Bitcoin futures ETF, opening crypto to wider investor base. ProShares is set to launch trading of its Bitcoin futures ETF next week. When was this? It was updated May 11, 2023. The article originally came out October 15th, 2021. They already got this stuff approved, man. It's FUD. It's smiling. Look at it. After years of trial and error by would-be fund sponsors, cryptocurrency investors is finally opening up the mass to the with the tacit U.S. approval of the Bitcoin futures as traded. The SEC commissioner greenlighted Bitcoin futures ETF in the first for the industry on Friday after regulators' 5 commissions met on the issue. ProShares, which filed a Bitcoin strategy ETF this past summer, may be the first launch next week. They've been filed this. This was in 21 now. The company filed its post October 15th. When did I tell you the article came out first? October 15, 2021. I'm not reading this for today. I'm reading this. This is a past article. October 16th, the funds may not be traded immediately. They even got a video. We can look at the video. Let's look at the video. All right, the video. Here we go.
Editor of Markets, Brad Cowan in Austin, and research analyst George Kaludis in North Carolina. Welcome, Brad and George.
Updated.
All right, great to see you. So,
hey, thanks, Christine.
So Bitcoin is gearing up for a new record high, Brad. I mean, all-time high is just under $65,000. What kind of technical indicators are you seeing? We know that this is because of the anticipation over a Bitcoin futures ETF that may get approval as soon as Monday.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're having a really good pop today. I think it was up 7% on the day. So that is a pretty big move, even for Bitcoin. And, we've come up, I think last week we talked about how we went up $10,000 last week. And I was just looking at, we're up, I guess, another $8,000 over the past week. So it's been a pretty rapid climb here from, we were just in the low 40s 2 weeks ago. And here we are looking at the all-time high, and it sort of shows how fast things can turn around. And once again, the driver here of Bitcoin these days is investment demand. It sounds kind of like a truism to say that, but that is primary use case for Bitcoin right now is as an investment, and people are buying it as a speculation.
Now, let me show you something. The article came out October 15, 2021. Now, I'm going to share this with you. Look at Bitcoin's all-time high. Let's see here if I can get my cursor pointing at it. 62,000. October 18th, the article came out on the 15th, 3 days after Bitcoin shot up. $62,043. $63,000. Man, come on. Come and talk to me. Man, come on, y'all. This Bitcoin ETF, they already got the groundwork for the Bitcoin ETF. ProShares already been approved. And when I Googled it, and you can Google it too, I found a couple of more Bitcoin ETFs that they already approved. I don't even know why. And what did Kathy Woods do? Kathy, let me make sure I say her name correct. I'm saying Kathy Woods. Kathy Wood. Let me make sure that's correct, because I don't want to butcher people's name. People be adding S's onto it. There we go. It says Kathy Woods, ARK Invest in ProShares. Let me make sure did I hit that? We all see it. Yeah. Kathy Woods, ARK Invest in ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF after exiting GBTC CNBC Crypto World. Kathy Woods already knew. Now, even Sam Bankman-Fried made a statement of how it's so positive for the market. Man, this thing has already been laid out, people. So Bitcoin shot up to 60-some thousand 3 days after ProShares ETF was approved. Now, when is the ETF supposed to approve? Man, get your money ready. I hope y'all done position your bags, because Bitcoin about to run up. It's about to run up. And I want y'all to be ready. Man, I'm going to bring it to you as I find out. I want to thank y'all. Do me a favor while you are in here. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if this information has been helpful for you. All I want to do is just bring you the information as I see it. But there's a lot going on, people. There's a lot going on, and I understand that. There's a lot of stuff that people are doing, and there's an underlining move behind all of this. This is my secret take on it. Again, if everybody in the world was rich, then who would do the work? So investment, I think, is one of the best kept secrets. That's why they don't teach it in schools, investment classes like this about the stock market, because it is the one easy way to transfer or gain wealth in your family, especially if you didn't come from wealth. If you didn't come from when your parents made millions, but if you knew you can get a job and you can invest little by little into the stock market, and it would do wonders for you eventually. Especially, what if you know this is 16 and 17? What and you were investing, which they probably didn't have it at, like it is now, where you can get on the phones and Google and all that stuff. Ooh, my stomach growling early. But all of it's there. It's right there in front of us, and we just got to prepare. We got to make sure we're ready. I got my ticker symbol down at the bottom. I think some of these cryptos here at the bottom will make a big run comeback. Just be ready for that. But I'm going to end it. I want to thank y'all for joining me today. I hope this information has been helpful. But I am now probably roughly 98% sure that the Bitcoin ETF is going to be approved. Just get your money, get your bags ready. I will be buying Bitcoin. I wouldn't just fear missing out. Don't just do it because I told you so. Because again, I'm just telling you my moves. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy that's been invested in crypto since 2021. I came in on the back end of the bull run. I made some mistakes. I lost money. I invested in dumb cryptos. My wallet now currently sits close to 31,000 because from 2021 to 2024, I continuously kept investing. I kept investing. I stayed the course, even though some days it didn't look really grim. It looked really grim. I didn't know if this thing was ever going to come back. It just looked like, some people telling me it's a scam. Don't mess with crypto. It's not. And I just kept going because in my gut, I felt like it was the right thing to do. And I think it's paying off now. I think I'm in a position now where I'm ready for the bull run. I have moved some money around in various other cryptos as I started looking more deeply, diving into stuff and not just FOMOing in. Here's something, just buying it. I actually started taking my time to do research. And I just let you know the Bitcoin ETF, that's going to be approved. So I'm going to get out of here. And I'm gonna leave you again with my famous quote last, and that is, you never learn how to swim unless you jump in, and you never climb a mountain without stumbling. This is Chris Carter with Crypto Secret X. I am
Less than before I walk away. Spellbound, I'll stutter, I pray, release.